That's great. Now,
Shit.
oh,
man, sorry guys. I don't know why.
I wonder if your camera's over. It's on.
No,
it
no,
seems to be. It seems to be on a schedule. It seems like it's happening. Like maybe it's overheating or something inside. And
I think it's because he's in a poor ass country.
Yeah.
oh my god.
Well, cheers for that.
Hey, Dave, how you doing, buddy?
Good morning, Mel. How are you?
I am well. It is a gorgeous, super steamy hot Sunday here in the outskirts of Atlanta, Georgia.
Yes, and it's actually, I guess it's not really morning. It's noon, but it
yeah.
feels like on Sunday I still consider noon to be morning.
I will agree with that. I will consider until 6 o'clock in the evening to still be Sunday morning, and then 6 means it's time to eat, wrap it up, watch some TV, go to bed.
You can do brunch all the way up until 5 p.m. and then do a turnaround and go do dinner.
I like that, and I like brunch beverages.
Oh yeah, I was looking for that. I don't have anything to make I thought for sure today's drink would be a Bloody Mary, but no.
Well, you use vodka for that.
Yeah.
So you could have.
I could have crushed it. I could take a tomato and just eat the tomato and drink the vodka.
Mimosa uses vodka.
But you then need champagne or some sparkling.
Yeah, but you can still. And
well, orange juice. No, you need orange. It's orange juice.
Screwdriver.
Well, yeah. But I mean, if we had champagne and orange juice, okay. Screwdriver, of course. We've got orange juice and vodka. Now, I don't have orange juice, but I actually am probably drinking the closest thing to a screwdriver one could get, which is.
Well, tell us later.
Okay.
Gotta wait for it. We
All
can't be revealing any of Dave's drink Sunday secrets.
Okay. All right.
Look at that alliteration I just threw in there.
Perfect.
I'm such a pro.
What?
At alliteration, I don't know. Nothing. I'm a pro at nothing. So how is your bum little wing there you got there?
Oh, I've taken the brace off of it just because I was taking my shower, but it's healing up a little bit. It's kind of got some damage, but I think I'll survive. I've got some range of motion. It still is a little sore up here, but I think what we're referring to for anyone who's listening is that last Sunday I was doing a practice session on my bike back there, and I let's just say I kind of like went over the bars and wiped out, and I've got these things that are in front of my handlebars to protect my hands. Well, in this case they did everything except protect my hands. They gouged into my arm and ended up I thought I broke my wrist, and fortunately I had x-rays and no broken wrist, but just a lot of kind of painful damage kind of to the tendons and stuff up on top. So kind of recovering from that.
Sprain takes longer to heal than a break.
Well, that's what they say, some of these in this soft tissue damage stuff kind of will take a while too. So, just I've been off the bike all week, which is good. I'm going to take a little bit more time. I'm getting myself ready for a rally in September. My very first race. It's in Colorado. It's 4 days.
Wow.
Goes from Colorado into Utah and then back somehow, I think. It's going to be cool. I've been seeing some of the organizers' Instagrams as they've been plotting out the route, and oh boy, it's pretty cool. I mean,
when in September?
It is September 11th is the start date, and that's a Saturday, and then it'll go Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. And so I have to be there Friday for what they call scrutineering, where they make sure that I have all the stuff, which includes, I have to have a satellite beacon on me. I have to have a satellite. We're renting satellite phones. This is not a cheap hobby. Satellite phone. I had to buy all this gear and a new bike that I'm building up to be a rally bike, which has all the navigation stuff on the front. But it's the first one ever in the United States. They do this in Europe and all over the world, but this is the first one ever in the US. And it took, this guy 2 years of dealing with all the bureaucracy to try to all these, land management and federal and local and state and everybody to get this cleared to be able to race. Now, we're not allowed to ever exceed the speed limits, which is like 45 miles an hour, but we're talking about really crazy rocky terrain that you're not.
It'd be hard to anyway.
If you're a badass, you're going to be able to go up to 45 miles an hour. But if you're someone like me, you're going to be like crawling away, So
right. Oh wow.
Yeah, it should be fun. It should be fun. It's a big endurance event, so we'll see how
we'll
it goes.
have to plan our skydiving trip after that.
Sure.
All right.
That'll work.
So that is a little glimpse into the future episodes that we've got coming up. Is we're going to do a skydiving trip and take you guys along with us.
Do it with Billy, huh?
Yeah.
That'll be cool. All right.
That'll be a lot of fun, and hopefully Jeannie will come along with us too. I'll do it.
That'll be fun. All right.
So not much has been going on my week. I've had a headache all week. I swear I'm becoming the human barometer, because I'll just get this horrible headache and then 30 minutes later it's raining every time. And of course it rains every day now because it's summer in Georgia.
Go along with your lumbago.
Right. So yeah.
Oh, my knees are sore.
I know.
My lumbago.
Exactly. I need some elixir.
Yep.
Which we're about to have.
What's the stuff you put on a wound that parents used to put on that?
That orange stuff.
Yeah, that oranch stuff.
Something betadine or
something thymidolide or something. It's something methanolide.
I don't know.
If anybody knows what we're talking about, please comment below. Hit that like button, ring that bell.
Tonight we have a young strapping lad with us. Yeah. So, and where before, Dave, you and I got to learn a lot about South America. And then we learned a lot about Germany. First with Raul and then secondly with Billy. But this week we are truly, truly, truly going international because we are going out of the country and all the way over to Poland.
Mm-hmm.
So, friend of mine that I met on a cruise ship. We'll get into that story because I always have weird meetup stories. It's very bizarre. But if
there's anyone in the world who's going to meet someone and make friends with anybody, that would be you.
I don't meet strangers.
Nope.
So
you don't.
Yeah, and neither do you, honestly. And I think that's why we're so tight.
All right.
But so tonight we're going to meet Jakub Mujajik, which sounds a lot like magic, which is fitting because he used to work on the Disney Magic ship, and that's how we met. But his friends know him as Kuba Tygrysek. And right. Tygrysek, I'm terrible at German. I'm even worse at Polish.
Yep.
But Tygrysek means Tigger. If someone were to ask you, what is your cartoon character that you could relate the most to? His would totally be Tigger. And so not only is it fitting again because of the Disney, but it is who he is.
Awesome.
Welcome, Kuba.
Hi, guys.
Hey, how are you doing?
Cześć. I will say that in Polish, actually.
Do it.
How do you say it? How do you say it in Polish?
Cześć. It's quite difficult, actually. Cześć.
Oh. I'm trying.
I'll write it down for you later.
Please, phonetically, please.
Awesome.
I'm already having enough trouble with Mujajik. And then
he's with me. He joined us also,
That's fantastic. Awesome shirt, my dude.
Oh.
I like it. That's a good looking shirt there.
You got the whole Florida thing going right there. You got the flamingos. You got the Hawaiian shirt. Ready for the beach.
Because we met with Melina in Florida, actually. That's why I wanted to put some accents.
Oh, you're so cute. Well, yeah, in the Caribbean. But I love see his TV behind him. That's his bar. Is that not the coolest shit ever?
Oh, that's awesome.
Oh, yeah.
Ooh, I'm going for that bottle of Hendrix right there.
He's so freaking funny. It kills me. Oh my God. Well, welcome to the show, Kuba. I just wanted to bring you on and let the world enjoy who you are, because I certainly
Polish crazy boy.
exactly. So tonight,
Liking a vodka. I hope you prepare.
so you're reading my mind, because that's where we're going first. So what are you drinking tonight? Tell us what your drink is.
I'm actually calling you from Silesia region. It's south of Poland, close to the Czech borders. It's like 1 hour drive south from Krakow, which is probably the most known place in Poland. And also the Auschwitz is like 15 minutes drive from my place.
Oh, geez.
Okay.
Yeah.
So show us. What is it? Show me the bottle.
Right. I also prepared something very interesting. It's a bottle of vodka, and I brought it from States, actually. And you can buy it in Poland. It's made in Poland. It's Ultimate Vodka, but it only sells in United States. So,
Wow. That's really great.
So I'm having this bottle. I brought it back from States, but I also fill it up that with the other vodkas, which I really like. It's a potato-made vodka. So I'm gonna actually join you the potato-made vodka today with the bottle from United States.
Wow. Okay. Well, then that's actually.
But I think we should have one, because it's like that's what we call in Poland. You know, the Bruderschaft is from German language. If you want to actually meet when you meet the new people and you want to introduce yourself, you should actually have one shot of vodka. So I think we should have one shot of vodka for the beginning. Huh?
We are actually. So hold tight. Go ahead and pour yours. Dave, what are you having this evening?
So mine is gonna make some stomachs turn here when I show you what I'm having.
Wow.
But it's actually quite delicious. Okay, so we're coming straight from Texas, my home state, with our Tito's. And
what's Tito's?
It's a vodka.
It's a vodka. And in my Mel and Dave Give It a Go glass, I'm having a sip of this, and it is mixed with creamsicle flavored rain. It's a sort of I wouldn't call it necessarily an energy drink, but it's sort of a kind of one of these, I don't know what you call it, kind of drinks, but they call it body fuel.
All right, okay.
But it's yeah. So this is the closest thing, because it's orange. It's the closest thing I can come up to a screwdriver this morning.
All right.
Okay, gotcha. Well, wait. No, we got to do our toast. Put the glass down, man. Have your manners about you. Okay, so here's what I'm having. And you guys and those in the audience will get to see this. I'm going to do a blind tasting. And it's funny because you guys are, see, this is why we're friends, because we just read each other's minds. So the blind tasting that I'm doing, I went to a prominent liquor store around here because I figured they would know what the hell they're talking about, and they don't. So I went in and I said, listen, I need a good Polish vodka. And the guy's like, oh, well, this one over here. And I'm like, it's $11. I can't possibly be a good Polish vodka. I said, listen, I'm doing a podcast tomorrow with my buddy in Poland. I got to have the real thing. Oh, well, there's two others over here. This one's this one and this one's that one. He goes, this one's really well known. I said, well, well known doesn't mean anything. I need a good Polish vodka. And that's when I was trying to call you. I'm trying to call him on WhatsApp while I'm in Total Wine.
I was on a birthday party.
And we didn't connect until after I had already made my purchase. So they screwed up and they hooked me up with Blisk, which is a Polish vodka, but it's not a potato vodka. It is a rye vodka, which I'm intrigued because I like rye whiskeys. So who knows? But I'm doing a blind tasting also with Texas Tito's. Except mine's in the family size.
Yes.
So what I have done is I've got 2 glasses pre-poured that I don't know which one is which. But as I tip it up, there's a sticker underneath it that will show you which one it is. So don't say anything. And I will say which one I like the best. And then we'll do a cheers and then we'll get rolling. How's that sound?
Okay. Perfect.
Perfect.
All right. So I'm going to start with this one. I'm gonna keep...
Oh my God. That wasn't a sip. That was a chug.
Tasty. All right. We're just going to get started. Here we go.
We're going to be. I love that.
That's different. It's more in the nose. It's creamier, slightly sweeter. They're very different. It's hard to say which one I like better. And I am by no means an expert, so nobody count on what I'm saying. I think I'll go with the second one. What are we looking at?
Boom.
The Blisk.
Blisk.
Poland wins.
A Polish stuff.
I'm really surprised because I will tell you, I've done blind tastings with what is it? Grey Goose and Chopin. Is it Chopin?
Chopin is Polish.
Whatever. And then also with Tito's, and Tito's won hands down. So good on you, Poland. Good on you. The only nation in Europe that still likes America. So, am I wrong?
Probably, yeah.
You know, when I first met, oh yeah, I'm pouring my drink now so that we can do our toast. But when we were wishing each other a Merry Christmas last year, we called each other on WhatsApp from your mom's house, I think it was it?
Yeah, from my parents' house, yeah.
And his mother said, you can only be friends with her if she voted for Trump. We were like, listen, we won't tell her any different, but Dave and I are libertarians. So
we can go any way. So
that's right.
Okay.
That's right.
And not like either way is the problem.
We'll hate them all.
Yeah, that's pretty much our position.
They're all stupid.
You want governance over me? I hate you.
So I mixed with
That's
some
the best what you
cranberry.
can say.
We're all screwing it up. But, so I mixed mine with some ice cubes and a sugar-free cranberry. So it's 100% cranberry juice, organic, of course. Because you got to be
go only organic.
Right.
So everybody, glasses up. Let's say cheers.
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 Na zdrowie.
That's right. Say that slowly.
Na zdrowie.
Na zdrowie.
Na zdrowie.
And then you shoot a shot.
Oh shit. Hey, I've already done 2. Thank you. I did a little bit of research on Poland because, history does not exist in America, and they're doing their best to get rid of it. So what we learned was very little, because if you're not in the US, nobody gives a shit. So it's kind of, no offense, but I was actually rather fascinated because you know me, I'm kind of a space geek. I love NASA and all that kind of stuff. And Nicholas Copernicus, I did not realize was Polish. He was the astronomer that was the first to say that the sun was the center of the solar system and not the Earth.
Exactly.
That's pretty stinking cool. But the most fascinating thing about Poland to me, forget the fact that they just became truly an independent nation as recently as 91. So in his lifetime.
Right.
100 years ago.
It was 1791 when you had the Constitution, but you fully got away from the USSR in 91.
Well,
Right?
1899, 1989.
Okay.
We were the first one, yeah.
Right. And that is just crazy awesome. And that's when they got to, I mean, y'all completely finally stepped away and became a free nation, but that's just wild that that's in your lifetime. I mean, we think we're like, that's 250 years ago for us, but can you imagine what it would be like in that lifetime? So you guys are truly in that building structure of
Right, correct.
trying to reinvent yourselves.
And still you can see that from the people's behaviors, you know, like the old
sure.
generations, they still like behavior like in the Soviet Union, and their minds are still over there.
Right. Yeah. And you
So-
guys joined the European Union just as recently as 2004.
in 2004, yeah, correct.
Wow. I mean,
And the NATO in 1999.
that is, dude, this is like recent history. How cool is that? I mean, that is just wild. But what I find more fascinating than any of that, you people have buffalo.
What?
Don't conflate Poland with Wyoming, y'all. They have buffalo.
True.
Like
and I have
Yes.
buffaloes in my hometown right now.
what?
That's the only two
so
places.
cool.
That's the only two places in Poland that you get the buffaloes. You know, living in the wild. So we get them here in the forest, like in Pszczyna, where I live. And the other place is in north of Poland. You know, at the borders of Belarus.
I had no idea. That's
Isn't that
amazing.
the coolest?
That's really cool.
I was flipping through
Yeah.
pictures, and of course, there's the gorgeous mountains because they're just below, Finland and all that, and so beautiful, beautiful. And he always sends me pictures of him when out at the lake with the big mountains and snow behind him. and then they've got fields of wheat, and they've got buffalo, and they've got these beautiful, cute little towns, but yet they have a really modern city, numerous actually, but Warsaw really is a beautiful, architecturally done.
Well, Krakow is much better.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
You're
Krakow
going to show me next year, right?
Krakow was our second capital.
Oh, okay.
The first one was Gniezno, but just for the little time.
Sure.
It's in the north of Poland.
Right.
Then was Krakow for the long, long time, and then become Warsaw.
Ah.
So the Warsaw is the most recent one. Yeah.
That's really, really cool.
Warsaw being destroyed, like after Second World War, Warsaw being destroyed, like completely destroyed. So they rebuild it.
Oh, wow.
So it's a modern city. There is no much history in Warsaw. Krakow been never touched by war, so it's still very historical and beautiful place to visit. Yeah.
Oh, wow. That's cool. Now, is it, because I mean, it's interesting that a lot of countries will have sort of these two cities that one is the cultural capital, and the other is sort of the modern business capital, international capital. So like when I lived in China, Shanghai was the international, let's call it the international capital, where Beijing was the cultural capital. And in Australia, Sydney is the business capital, and Melbourne is
the historical one.
Capital. Yeah, I just find that really fascinating. So is that sort of how it is in Poland too, with Krakow versus Warsaw?
Krakow definitely. Everybody says like, and the Krakowians, they disagree still that the Warsaw is the capital. So the Krakowians are the people which they still think that the Krakow is the real capital.
Okay.
So you don't want to mess up with them, with the Krakowians, because they really like hating Warsaw and then like saying like, no, Krakow is the only capital.
Oh, wow. So I guess in America we have New York as sort of our the business capital or whatever, and I mean I'll just go ahead and say that.
But the funny thing is like
the cultural. No, it's not.
But like New York is like considered, like in Europe, as the capital of United States. It's the same. I think like the Americans, they think that London and Paris is the capital of Europe.
Yeah.
I heard those things, when I was on the ship, some people, they actually approached me.
Oh God, I can't wait to hear about
that. And they were telling me like, all right, so you're from Europe. I said, no, I'm from Poland. Yeah, but there is no country like Poland. There is Europe.
Oh my gosh.
What? And the capital is in in Paris. And I'm like, all right, okay, cool.
I was watching Mystery Science Theater 3000, and one of the bots was asking, I can't remember if it was Mike or the other guy, but was asking, so what country was this filmed in? And the answer was Europe. But another cool thing that I found about you guys is that your Air Force uses the F-16s,
right, and
which was developed here at General Dynamics. Now wait, y'all keep being buddies with us, because you're going to end up eventually with the F-22, which is fucking badass. Dave and I saw it
we are planning
2 years ago.
True, we are planning to buy it. They say it's already in the government, that I just said.
Cool.
Dude, so people that swear that there's aliens, that's because they're seeing the F-22. I'm telling you.
It moves unlike anything. It's pretty amazing.
Exactly. Dave and I and Kurt and Nick, we all went to the air show 2 years ago in Northwest Georgia, and out in the middle of nowhere, because you have to. And this thing, it will go straight up like a rocket, and then we'll sit there, and it'll do this, and it'll do this, and then it'll lean forward, and then it'll stand up, and then come back down, and then take off like lightning fast. It's insane.
It's weird.
In seconds.
Crazy.
Right.
It's insane. And that was built right here in Georgia.
Oh, wow.
Yeehaw.
Yeah.
That's right.
All
Yeah.
right. So now I have some questions. Now, I don't know your age, but when USSR when that fell back in '89.
I don't remember it. No.
Okay, you're.
No, I was little. I was 5 years old. I'm from 1984, so I can remember those things.
Oh, okay.
No.
I was curious if.
Oh my God, I wish I could forget 1984 also.
But do you have enough perspective to see change though over that time period though? Was there sort of some degree of, or was it just?
Well, it was huge change. That's true.
Oh, okay.
And then especially that's very visible from the time when we joined the European Union in 2004. When all these investments from the Western countries, they came to us, and these factories and everything. So yeah, that was very visible. And then, once we joined the European Union, we were free to work and travel without any interruptions all around the Europe. So yeah.
Right.
Can you imagine?
Those people actually which left Poland in 2004, like say, or 2005, and they came back to Poland, and set the new businesses.
Mm-hmm.
They came with the fresh minds, and then with the new ideas. So they helped also to develop the country.
Oh, cool.
Definitely. Yep.
That's insane.
Yeah.
Okay. So now you were working with what cruise line was that?
Disney Cruise Line.
Awesome.
So back up, because I want to hear how you started out as a 5-year-old when your country became what it is, and then you grew up, and what did you do to get yourself on a Disney cruise ship so that you could meet yours truly?
Well, I was traveling from the early childhood quite a lot, because my father, he worked on a ship, the merchant ships, so even when we were under the USSR, we as a family, we were allowed to actually leave the country and then travel with father. So that was easier for us than the other people actually had so many troubles to get even the passports, and then travel anywhere else apart of the Eastern Bloc. Because, Eastern Bloc was like European Union right now. So you were free to travel everywhere between the Eastern Bloc countries. But to get to the Western countries, you needed the passport, and it was really tough to get one, So we, as a part of the family from the sailor family, we were getting the passports very easy. So I could travel with my father, quite a lot. And maybe that's why, I decided to join the cruise line, because I really wanted to go to the marine school when I finished my secondary school. But my father, he said no, he said it's a tough life. He said like, if you want to join the Marines, you will need to actually get the money yourself first, go to work, because I'm not going to be paying for it, So I went the easier way. I went for the hotel management, but then I found it out that the cruise liners are the big hotels, the floating hotels, so I can use it.
There you go.
And then eventually work on the cruise liners, which is the ship, which I really love the ship life and then being on the ship. So yeah.
So you traveled, I know you traveled all over the Caribbean. Where else? You were on the Mujajik, is that right?
On the Mujajik, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. So and where else did the Mujajik take you? Because it wasn't their biggest, but it was pretty big.
It was pretty big. It was 3,000. The capacity was like 3,000 people or 3,300. 1,000 staff.
Wow.
People.
1,000
and the rest.
staff? Wow.
Yeah, 980 people working on the ship.
Wow.
And you.
There was 14 Polish people.
Oh, that's cool. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So, I mean, but where else did you travel?
With the cruise liner, with the Disney.
Yeah, with the cruise.
Just the Florida, Eastern and Western Caribbeans,
Okay.
down to San Martin. Yeah.
Wow.
So, yeah.
That's pretty cool. So, and how long were you with Disney?
2 contracts, so 1 year altogether.
Just 1 year?
Yeah.
So how lucky was I then?
Yeah. Well, we can call it lucky.
I do. So Dave, to give you an idea, so
Yeah.
Nicholas was 7. This is how long ago this was. So
Oh,
this was
wow.
13 years ago.
And now he's 20.
He's 20.
Were you only 20?
No,
no.
Nicholas is
Nicholas.
20 now.
Oh, now he is. No, but how
Yeah.
old are you? Do you even? That's not
24.
Okay.
Wow.
Yeah.
So yeah. So what had happened was we were going to Disney almost every year. No offense, Disney, but I'm now a Universal girl. Go Harry Potter. So, but nonetheless, so we decided we're done with the parks. Let's go and do the cruise. And I had been on a cruise before, but Nicholas or Kurt had not. And so I chose the Disney because I knew that Nick would enjoy it, and I knew that we decided to do the cruise because we had done everything else. They had never been on a cruise. I'm like, you've never seen blue, and that was one of the reasons why I wore this shirt, because it is the color of the Caribbean Ocean when you're out in the middle of it. Yeah, I mean, it's a blue you've never seen. It's absolutely gorgeous. And so we went and did that and had a great time. But every night after dinner, we would drop Nicholas off for the kids group, whatever.
Kids clubs, yeah.
Yeah, and they would keep him until like 11:30, something like that. And Kurt and I, we love going to the piano bar. So, like the Wizard Lounge, and that's where he worked. And we had the Indian guy who was our bartender, who is, super cool.
Which I didn't like.
They didn't like each other.
Oh.
No.
You wouldn't.
We
have
never
known
go
until
along
afterwards.
with the. No,
Right.
we never go along
Yeah,
with
you
other.
wouldn't They were both very professional, so you wouldn't have known until afterwards. But he was our server, so he would bring us the drinks. And he was so fucking funny because I handed him my phone. I said, hey, take a picture of us. And he took the phone and he held it up for himself and he goes, damn, that's gorgeous. And he took a picture of himself. And walked away.
Oh, that's an awesome move.
So I'm like, oh yeah, I like him. And he was like that with us every night. We just got on so well. And it was like towards the end, and this shows that I am truly a social alcoholic, because at the end of the trip, they gave us, the bartender gave us a Crown Royal bag with prizes in it for being the #1 customer on the cruise.
The #1 drinkers.
I was having Cubassier every night, man. But Kuba and I ended up becoming friends on Facebook, and that's how we kept in touch during all this time. And then somebody was clever and invented WhatsApp. And
Wow.
so now we can FaceTime and call each other and stuff like that. And so, yeah, we've been friends for 13 years from that.
13 years this year. Well, let's celebrate it, Another shot.
Cheers.
Na zdrowie, guys.
Let's throw it.
All right.
So, when you left Disney, where'd you go?
Australia.
Oh,
Do tell.
Well, I left for like English school. So I've done the business English in the college in Australia. I don't know why. Actually, they wanted to leave me on the ship, especially the hotel director. He was begging me to stay. He said that they're gonna cover the cost of the online university if I want to actually continue studying and then working with Disney. But I think I was like 25, and I still wanted to discover the world, more and more and more. And then I said, all right, enough of being on the ship, and then time to go to down under. So I left to Australia, and then I stayed there like for 7 months, came back to Europe, went to Cyprus for it a while. Then accidentally, I ended up in London. I just went to visit my friends. And then I had like a catch up with my old friend from Lithuania, having a coffee. And she said to me like, well, if you want to join my team, and it was like the completely new thing in my life, because there was like some things with the accounting. So like, if you decide to join my team, I give you all the necessary trainings, but you have to stay at least for 1 year. And I said, okay, cool.
So you stayed in London for a year? Is that what you're saying?
For 2 years.
Oh,
2
wow.
years. Wow.
And then after 2 years, I was actually getting ready to go back to Poland, but some sad thing in life actually pushed me to actually do this thing earlier, because my mom, she runs the company, the printing company, and then the guy who actually she runs the company with, that was like a joint venture, he passed away at work. She couldn't rescue him, and then
wow.
it pushed me actually to come back to Poland straight away, and then I replaced him in the company.
He really didn't
And
want to. He really didn't want to work there, did he?
No, seems like not. Oh, he didn't want to work with my mom, which is a very tough person.
No. Your mom's lovely.
I know, it's my mom.
Hey, and speaking of your mom, when I come next year, I want a straight up old-fashioned Polish meal. The cabbage rolls.
She will do that for you. Typical Silesian meal. She's specializing in it, so she's gonna prepare that for you. Don't worry.
All right. Fine. Oh, and can I jump?
Prepare your stomach. Prepare your stomach for it. Because we eat very fatty. I mean, like all the things we eat, it's always the meat combined with the potatoes. Always. It's a soup.
We do that here too, but
a soup as a starter always.
Okay.
Zettelmoyer. We eat a lot of German over here, so
yeah. So you have some experience in it.
Very similar.
Yeah.
But I want to jump back on one thing, because I want Dave to hear two things that I totally forgot, because this is straight up his alley. First of all, one of the other facts about Poland, they have a huge motorcycle racing thing going on.
Żużel.
There you are.
Yeah.
How about that? And the other thing, when you were on the cruise ship and there would be, groups from a particular state that you knew was coming, who was your favorite state of people to come?
Texas. We like the Texas people. That's true. We love them. We never liked the people from New York.
Say it. Oh.
they were too snobbish.
They're not snobbish.
Now,
They're just
now I can tell these
Not-
things. I'm not working with Disney anymore.
no, it's true. It's true. It's
No. They never left the good tips also, I mean, like,
oh jeez.
now from New York, they were like, you really had to impress them, to get the tips, and then they were like disagreeing with all the things and then making a lot of complaints and
Who could complain about you, Kuba?
there were people actually complaining about me. Yeah.
Well, they're
He's too friendly. It's creeping me out.
They're stupid.
No. There was one family actually. I remember it. They were from New York actually, and I might get friends with them because we like every cruise. You had some people in the bar, regulars coming back, and then you make friends with them. For the cruise. And then there was a family from New York. We talked to each other every day. They were coming to my bar, having fun. And on the last day, we were talking about the traveling. And then this woman, she said like her dream is to go to Iceland. And I told her like, oh, wow, I just came back from Iceland. I was like short after the first vacation in between the contracts. And I was in Iceland for my vacation. And I said to her that I was there. And then she looked at my name badge, and we always had the name and the country we come from on the name badges. And she was like, all right, stop lying to me. You're from Poland and you've been to Iceland. I'm from New York and I've never been there. And she said like, why are you lying to me? I said like, I'm not lying to you. I said like, it's not a huge thing, to go to Iceland, those days. It's like, well, you're from
Same temperature.
Yes, she said like to me, well, you're from Poland, one of the poorest countries, and probably you're working here to send the money to your family, and stop lying to me that you ever went on any holidays, and especially to Iceland when I never been there.
Uneducated.
And I was like, seriously, I was shocked, and I was like, why is she saying these things? And she's saying me off in a rude way, and I'm like, well, and I said, Mom, listen, we don't need to actually talk anymore. I said, like, I'm gonna set the drinks for you. I don't want to go further in this conversation. I'm not lying to you. And then I was like ready to leave the ship, and then because I had a few months to actually to finish my contract. And I was like, no, I don't want to stay here anymore. And I said even to myself, like, if it's the States like this, and the people are actually doing these things to the other people, because we hear sometimes in Europe, like these things, they happens in States, like people, they trying to get something and they go to the worst things, to the other people, accusing them and then getting some stuff for free, from the companies. So it really touched me, and I was like, oh no, I don't want to be the part of the the cruise liner. I don't want to be in States anymore, and etc. But my friends, they say like, well, listen, we went through the same things. Time to time it happens. Everyone believes that you actually are a victim of this situation. And then they said like, we don't leave the ship, continue your contract. And then that's what I said. Okay, I stay, so yeah.
Wow. So then you went to Australia.
So maybe that's why the New Yorkers stick in my mind, like the people which I don't want to deal with.
No, makes sense.
Boy.
Yeah.
That's Holly Day. So then, hello. So then you did your 2 years in London, and you decided to go back to Poland to the family business.
Yeah, right, correct.
What is the family business?
We have a printing house. We do the self-adhesive labels for the various companies. We're specializing in meat and dairy products. So
and candy.
We do the packages for the meat and dairy products.
He sent me some cheese one year, and I didn't know what it was because I can't read Polish, and it's very different. It's like a flat kind of like pieces.
That's from the mountains. Yeah, it's smoked cheese. It's smoked cheese.
And I'm like, what do I do with this? And he's like, just put it on the grill.
Oh wow!
Briefly, just to get it.
I'll show you. Just give me a second. I have it in the fridge. So I'll show you.
Awesome.
Okay, cool.
Good. It was so good.
Wow.
And their chocolate is the bomb. So he'll send me some chocolates every year, and it's usually a dark chocolate. Like we'll have a dried plum in the center. It's so good.
Wow.
There it is. That's it.
What is that?
Right. That's what I said.
It's a mountain cheese, a smoked mountain cheese, and it's perfect for beer, like to have a snack, especially with the beer, So
that's awesome.
That's awesome. Huh.
Yeah. And you can grill it. You can also grill it and then serve it warm. Yeah.
That's great. The only cheese that there's a cheese that I like called Halloumi. It's Middle Eastern, and you grill that, and it's got sort of a interesting, harder, kind of chewy texture. But I'd never been introduced to that until some
Greek people. They do that Halloumi.
Yeah.
Their
Okay.
goats are tougher.
Oh.
Put up with that heat.
So you're in the cheese business too, with labels and cheese, or
labels and cheese. So far, only that.
Right.
But you're from the poorest country in the world, therefore you're sending all the money back.
I know where you're getting to. I know these tricks already.
The misconception of that, it's insane, because I mean, to be honest, before I ever traveled internationally, you have this sense of these countries, and you kind of, but what you don't realize is that there's still, I mean, when I went to China, I just it's like, no, when you go to China, there is, the people who have to, the guys selling, selling toilet paper or whatever it's just crazy. I think just, there's
same like you're going to some African countries, and you're surprised that they are so developed, it's so different what the media shows versus reality, so yeah.
We kind of get the same thing in Georgia, honestly, when people come from other states and they're like, oh, y'all wear shoes? We always just assumed.
So what's the other states that you're thinking like this about?
Mississippi.
Mississippi, though, that is true.
My only complaint about Mississippi and Louisiana is the I-20 corridor across it. Mm-hmm. There's a distinct 10 is the lowest, and then in the middle, across the middle, is I-20.
That's right. Okay.
And so when you're driving across 20, like I always go to Texas, to Dallas, and it's like, okay, you can maintain a good pace across Georgia because everyone in Georgia speeds like it's, a NASCAR race. Then you get into Alabama and it's just normal, and that's fine. Then you get to Mississippi, and all of a sudden people just lurk in the left lane, and they just don't move. They don't, and you you go out of your mind, because they'll drive 58 miles per hour in the left lane, and you're just like, come on, get over, and you have to work your way around it. And then you get, sort of to even closer to Louisiana, and it gets worse, and it just gets all tied up. So you just can't really make a good time through those two states. And then once you get to sort of the western part of Louisiana, closer to Texas, you start seeing Texas plates. And Texans are pretty good about getting over and kind of following that rule, and you can kind of work your way through it. And then you get into Texas, and then the speeds come back up. You can kind of get over. You get closer to Dallas, things start to get a little bit more smooth, and then you can make your time back up.
Yeah, Kuba, I know you spent some time here, but the law is that the slower traffic keeps right. So the passing lanes are the ones on the left. And the big rig truckers aren't allowed to get in those lanes, so that, we can keep the traffic flowing. But if you're old or live in certain states, they will do 5 to 10 miles an hour under the speed limit in the left lane.
Yep.
And it's infuriating. And so I remember one time I had a conversation with my Nana, and I said, listen, tell me, which lane do you get in, the right or the left, if you're doing slow? And she goes, oh, well, slower traffic's always supposed to stay right. And I said, that's right. Tell your friends.
Spread the word. Yeah. Please.